Alright, last video of the day. In this episode, we're going to be updating the running series on my channel, Bitcoin Stock Market Blues. If you're new to my channel, first of all, warm welcome. What we do in this series is we talk about what is going on in the stock market, like the SPY, tech stocks, the NASDAQ, etc. We also look at the DXY, which is the US dollar index, and we talk about the implications, whether bullish or bearish, that the stock market will likely have coming into Bitcoin. With that said, let's jump right into today's episode. So, today, Bitcoin has been a little bit choppy. We've been moving down approximately 0.33% down as of the time of recording this. Nothing crazy. We've really just been trending sideways. You know, I talked about this in my last couple of videos, but I really don't think this is the time to be flipping bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. We've been the same price for 32 days. I said this in yesterday's episode and the day before, but we need to wait for a solid breakout of this range. Now, if I clear basically all the data points that we've got here, hide the EMA ribbons, until we solidly break above, you know, either side of this channel, then absolutely nothing has changed, and I don't think we should be, you know, jumping between bullish and bearish, you know, as much as other people are. That being said, we are seeing signs that we are about to break bearish. Now, I talked about this in yesterday's video. We talked about diamond hands and diamond tops, and it's played out exactly as predicted. You can see the diamond top over on the SPY has broken down. We talked about this being a super bearish bearish pattern. I really don't want to draw out like 4 trend lines once again, but you can see we had another diamond bottom down here, and typically these do play out with a high level of probability. We were also within this massive bear flag. I know this is drawn as a channel, nonetheless, if I line it up like this a little bit better, you can see we have just fallen out of a massive bear flag on the SPY, which is the stock market ETF of the SPX. So really not looking good for the stock markets. And like I said, we talk about the stock markets because these will have dire implications over on the crypto markets. For example, us dumping down now over on the SPY within well, you know, the SPY is now closed, but nonetheless we can still chart it after it's closed. We will be waiting for the opening tomorrow. Hopefully we can get something of a bounce back, but the SPY, stock market in general, the dollar, they are all leading indicators of Bitcoin. They make their moves first and Bitcoin follows. I wish it wasn't how it was. I wish Bitcoin was much more independent and uncorrelated from these asset classes, but the fact of the matter is they are currently correlated at this moment in time. I don't believe they will always be correlated, but they are at this moment in time, so we have to deal with what we've got to deal with. That being said, SPY breaking down is probably going to pull Bitcoin back down to at least 29,500, potentially to the bottom of this channel at 28,600. Now, we'd really need to wait for the SPY opening tomorrow, but I don't like what we're seeing with the SPY. And while we're seeing the SPY break down from this diamond top, break out of this bear flag, break below the 4-hourly EMAs, break below the 13 EMA, and break bearish after a bearish retest of your daily EMA ribbons, we look at the dollar, and you know, we look, and the dollar's doing the complete opposite. The dollar looks like it wants to break bullish out of this bear flag. So the stock market and the dollar are often inversely correlated. As you can see, the dollar is moving up to the top of this bear flag right now. We're coming all the way up to the top, and I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks on my channel since we were all the way up here and starting to top out. I told you, while we are still in this range, do not count the dollar out until it is all said and done. I mentioned this in basically every video, but previous market, and I remember what it was like because I was trading back in these days. I was specifically trading currency pairs, the stock market, gold, precious metals. I was a very different trader, you know, a couple of years ago or so. I was really into crypto during this time, but I did still trade. I did still keep up with currency pairs, and the US dollar was massively capitulating at this moment in time. Most currency pairs, or most currencies were capitulating, but as you can see, the US, or the DXY rather, the US dollar index moved down about 5.26% before moving up almost 9%, and this is basically what we saw quite recently. The DXY moved down only about 3.5% before having this massive run to the upside. So I'm going to say it once again, do not not count the dollar out until it's all said and done. We've come up, made a new all-time high, come back down into the daily EMA ribbons, come back down to the bottom of this this resistance range, and we've held it as support. Really not a good sign. The squeeze mom is starting to turn up bullish, meaning bears are losing momentum at this moment in time. Really not good with what we are seeing over in the stock market. A few other things that I do want to talk about, because the Bitcoin bear market blues videos, we really just check out the asset classes over here, so it doesn't take too much time. The SPX is massively breaking down, just like most of the stocks right now, coming down from the daily EMA ribbons. One thing that I do want to say that is somewhat slightly out of topic, but not necessarily too out of topic, is Coinbase stock has once again got rejected from the 13 EMA. And I would like to say, like, once again, this is off topic, but recently cryptocurrency platforms like Coinbase, like Crypto.com, they have been letting off employees. They've been desizing their companies, removing staff to lower their costs, and people are still FOMOing into the crypto markets. People are still FOMOing into altcoins. There are tons and tons of signs of potentially a depression on the horizon, potentially entering a recession. Like I said, cryptocurrency exchanges are letting off employees, but people are still thinking now's the right time to FOMO into NFTs of monkeys and buy Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, move to earn cryptos, and it is what it is. But I just somewhat disagree with the market sentiment right now. I think looking at the general perspective of the markets, we are pretty much in the midst of a recession, and this could last for quite some period of time. Specifically in the altcoins, I do definitely think that Bitcoin is going to massively outperform. And why do I think this? Because if we head over to the Bitcoin dominance, which is something that I've been talking about quite a lot recently, because this is one of the most important charts to keep our eyes on, Bitcoin dominance is on a rampage. We've had a couple of days of a breather. If we switch over to the Fibonacci's, we've had our first red candle since the 23rd of May, which is really not too bad. I mean, we've been moving up like crazy. Can you blame it for having a day or two of cooling off? I don't think so. I think the Bitcoin dominance is super bullish. Stock market right now, not looking too good. So be very careful. Airbnb, Apple, Netflix, Microsoft, like I said, I don't want to do a bunch of TA on these. They're all the exact same chart. They've all capitulated below the 13 EMA. They all look like they're about to capitulate below their lows. Tesla not looking good either. The Google looks, I mean, it looks like it's coming down, but not as much as everything else. The Nasdaq, this is really a bearish sign. We could have come up to fill these CME gaps. Instead, we've come down to fill the CME gaps down here. Let's hope that we keep on moving up, because it's not looking good. We're running out of momentum on the stock market, and in my opinion, I hate to say it, but I do think the stock market is going to continue to move down. I do think the dollar is going to continue to move up, and because of this, I do think Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency asset classes do have further to move down in the short term. So all I've got for you today, be very cautious. Just a quick summary: dollar's moving up, SPY is breaking down from this diamond top and the bear flag. This is very likely to bleed in negatively over on Bitcoin. All I've got for you today. Hope you found some value in this content. If you did, make sure to like and smash the subscribe button. As always, Cowboy out. Peace.